There we go. Hello, everyone. This is going to be our final Reader's Theater for Much Ado About Nothing. We're starting with Act 5, Scene 2, and we will go through the end. We have slightly different parts today, slightly different actors, but the show is the same. So here we go. So Act 5, Scene 2, Benedict tells Beatrice that he has challenged Claudio. They are summoned to Leonato's house with the news that Hero's innocence has been proved. Enter Benedict and Margaret.
Pray thee, sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it, for in most comely truth thou deserved it.
To have no man come over me, why shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth it catches,
and yours as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret, it will not hurt a woman, and so I pray thee call Beatrice, I give thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords, we have bucklers of our own.
If you use them, Margaret, you must put in the pikes with a vice, and they are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well, I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will come,
Margaret.
O God of love that sits above and knows me, how pitiful I deserve. I mean in singing, but in loving, Leander the good swimmer, Troilus, the first employer of Pandars, and a whole bookful of these quondam carpetmongers, whose names yet run smoothly in the even road of a blank verse. Why, they were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find out no rhyme to lady but baby, an innocent rhyme for scorn, horn, a hard rhyme for school, fool, a babbling rhyme, very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms.
Enter Beatrice.
Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, Signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Ah, then is spoken. Fare you well now. And yet, ere I go, let me go with that I came for, which is, with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of this right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And I pray thee, now tell me, for which of my bad parts didst thou fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they will not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love? A good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor, poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peacefully.
It appears not in this confession. There's not one wise man among 20 that will praise himself.
An old instance, Beatrice, that lived in the time of good neighbors. If a man do not erect in his age his own tomb ere he dies, he shall live no longer in monument than the bell rings and the widow weeps.
And how long is that, think you?
Question, why, an hour in clamor and a quarter in ruin. Therefore it is most expedient for the wise, if Don Worm, his conscience, find no impediment to the contrary, to be the trumpet of his own virtues, as I am to myself. So much for praising myself, who I myself will bear witness is praiseworthy. And now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill,
And how do you?
very ill too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. There I will leave you too, for here comes one in haste.
Dear Ursula.
Madam, you must come to your uncle. Yonder's old coil is home. It is proved my Lady Hero has been falsely accused. The prince and Claudio mightily abused. And Don John is the author of all, who was fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Ursula exits.
Will you go to hear this news, Senor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
And they exit. Act 5, Scene 3. Claudio appears at Leonato's family tomb, has a song sung for Hero, and hangs a scroll on the tomb. Enter Claudio, Prince, and 3 or 4 lords with tapers and musicians. Is this the monument of Leonato? Oh, do we have lords?
It is, my lord.
Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death and guardian of her wrongs gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang thou there upon the tomb, praising her when I am dumb. Now music sound, and sing your solemn hymn.
Pardon, goddess of the night, those that slew thy virgin night. For the which with songs of woe round about her tomb they go. Midnight, assist our moan, help us to sigh and groan. Heavily, heavily, graves yawn and yield your dead, till death be uttered. Heavily, heavily.
Now unto thy bones, good night. Yearly will I do this right.
Good morrow, masters. Put your torches out. The wolves have preyed, and look, the gentle day before the wheels of Phoebus round about dapples the drowsy east with spots of grey. Thanks to you all, and leave us. Fare you well.
Good morrow, masters. Each his several way. Lords and musicians exit.
Come, Claudio, let us hence, and put on other weeds, and then to Leonato's we will go.
And Hymen, now with luckier issue speeds than this, for whom we rendered up this woe. They exit. On to the end. Act 5, Scene 4. Claudio and Don Pedro appear for the second wedding. The women enter masked. When Claudio takes the hand of Leonato's niece, agreeing to marry her, she unmasks, and he learns that she is Hero. Benedict and Beatrice agree to marry, but only out of pity for each other. Love poems each has written to the other are produced to prove that they do, in fact, love each other. Claudio is forgiven by all, and a double wedding is set to follow the closing dance. Enter Leonato, Benedict, Beatrice, Margaret, Ursula, Leonato's brother, and the friar and Hero.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the prince and Claudio who accused her, upon the error that you heard debated. But Margaret was in some fault for this, although against her will, as it appears, in the true course of all the question.
Well, I am glad that all things sort so well.
And so am I. being else by fate then forced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, withdraw into a chamber by yourselves. And when I send for you, come hither unmasked. The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. You know your office, brother. You must be father to your brother's daughter, and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, Signor?
To bind me, or undo me, one of them. Signor Leonardo, truth it is, good Signor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That I my daughter lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio and the prince. But what is your will?
Your answer, sir, is it enigmatical? But for my will is your good will, may stand with ours this day to be conjoined in the state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And for help. Here comes the prince and Claudio.
Enter Prince and Claudio with 2 or 3 other.
Good morrow, this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter? Sorry. I'll hold my mind. Were she an Ethiop? Call her forth, brother. Here's the friar ready. Leonardo's brother exits.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter that you have such a February face, so full of frost, of storm, of cloudiness?
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, fear not, man. We'll tip thy horns with gold, and all Europa shall rejoice at thee, as once Europa did at lusty Jove, when he would play the noble beast in love.
Bold Jove, sir, had an amiable low, and some such strain bull leaped your father's cow, and got a calf in that same noble feat, much like to you, for you have just his bleat.
For this I owe you. Here comes other reckonings. Enter Leonardo's brother, Hero, Beatrice, Margaret, Ursula, the ladies masked. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same as she, and I do give you her.
Why, then she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face. No, that you shall not do till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her. Give me your hand before this holy friar. I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
She unmasked. Another hero.
Nothing certainter. One hero died defiled, but I do live. And surely ever as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero. Oh, sorry, the prince says the former hero that is dead.
She died, my lord, but whiles her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify, when after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair heroes. Meantime, let wonders seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Soft and fair, friar, which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
What? Why? No. No more than reason.
Why then your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived, for they swore you did.
Well, do not you love me?
Troth, no, no more than reason.
Why then my cousin and Margaret and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore that you were almost sick for me.
Well, they swore that you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me.
No, truly, but, in friendly recompense.
Oh, cousin, I am sure you love the gentleman. And I'll be sworn upon that he loves her. For there's a paper written in his own hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, writ in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict.
A miracle. Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace, I will stop your mouth.
Yes.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of witcrackers cannot flout me out of my humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or an epigram? No, if a man will be beaten with brains, I shall wear nothing handsome about him. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it, and therefore never flouted me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin.
I had well hoped thou wouldst have denied, Beatrice, that I might have cudgeled thee out of thy single life to make thee a double dealer, which out of question thou wilt be, if my cousin do not look exceedingly narrowly to thee.
Come, come, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterward.
First, of my word, therefore play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife, get thee a wife. There is no staff more reverend than one tipped with horn.
My lord, your brother John is ta'en in flight, and brought with armed men back to Messina.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments for him. Strike up the pipers.
And so the play ends. A little bit of juggling, that was fun.
Indeed, it is lots of fun.
So thank you very much for coming. This is it for our recording this week, and I believe this is going to be it for our Readers Theater Shakespeare for this moment of online programming for the Macedon Public Library. But stay tuned and perhaps it will be back. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.